Don't be afraid to be intimate with demonic energy as a divine being. Don't be afraid to healthily obsess over why manipulative, narcissistic, dark people act and manifest the way that they do. Don't be afraid to interview and probe your abusers. Don't be afraid to ask about the why. Why did you do this to me? Why do you believe this? Why do you think this way? Why do you operate this way? Because the more intimate you become with that thing, that being, that soul that is totally opposite, totally polar of who you are as a soul and a being and what you represent, the more you will find comfort in that contrast, and the more confident and comfortable and self-loving you will feel about being the person that they abused, that they rejected, that they manipulated, that they misused. Because in familiarizing yourself with them through intimacy, you'll be able to get answers to questions that you may still consciously or subconsciously have, or to questions that your inner child may have, which is subconscious, which is, why wasn't I good enough for them? Why did they feel like they could manipulate me? Why did they feel like they could get over on me? Why did they feel like they could compete with me? Why did they even want to do black magic on me? Why did they even want to hurt me in whatever way that they hurt me? Those answers will be clear to you the more you engage with them, the more you get information out of them, the more you study them, and those answers will heal you, truly heal you. Because when we are in abusive relationships, when we're young or just simply naive and unknowing, we could leave those relationships from a healed place, but there's still unfinished business with our inner child, or with our then naive self, or with our then unknowing and unhealed and afraid to be independent self. And even though we feel comfortable enough to never want or need that abusive person again, our system hasn't fully processed that it wasn't us. And the reason for that is because of a few things, actually. One, when you experience like severe trauma, especially in like interpersonal relationships, that trauma can make you forget things. It can distort not only like your memory, but there's a distortion within your perception of the past. So, for example, you know what you know now, right? You know what, an abusive person manifests like. You know the internal work that you need to upkeep to not attract certain people. You know now how to protect yourself. Just more. You just know more. And another thing too is why general knowing is important, is because people can manipulate you with what you don't know. If you don't know something and they do know something, and they know that you don't know it, it's so much more easier for them to get in your head and make you think that you ought to do something a certain way, or not do, for that matter. But because trauma and exiting reoccurring traumatic dynamics can dramatically shift your character, your mind, your heart, who you are as a person, and how you protect yourself furthermore, because it can make you evolve so fast and so dramatically. Like I said, the spiritual transition that you're making can feel too big for your ego, your human self, to actualize. And sometimes it only feels big. It really wasn't that big. And the reason why I say that is because I'm going to talk about this in a video that I'm going to post tonight. But when we give low vibrational beings who are more low vibrational than us, when we as high vibrational divine beings give beings who are at a low vibration than us authority over our life, our minds, our emotions, our decisions, we can make the mistake of toxically grounding and diluting ourselves into someone who is more digestible for them, someone who is more malleable and manageable for them, someone more easy to manipulate for them. And in that grounding, we detach from our innate divine inclinations, intuitions, and simply our divine knowing. Now, I do believe that in that detachment, we haven't necessarily washed out our soul's divinity. We've more so decided to make it dormant in order to maintain that relationship and that connection. And when things are dormant, they still manifest passively. So our divinity was still, existing in that relationship, that aspect of divinity that we made dormant. Our general divinity, who we are as a being, the things that we can't make dormant, the things that we don't have to dilute in order to keep the connection, like being so giving and being so loving. We retain that aspect of ourselves. But because we're in a connection with someone who wants us to believe we are the opposite of who we actually are, we forget that we're divine at some point. We stop accepting that. We detach from that identity on an egoic, conscious level. And in getting intimate again, after you decided, I will never fuck with this person again, I will never do this to my inner child again, I will never not love myself like that again, I will never, dilute or make dormant my divinity like that again. Once you've made that conscious decision, and from a healed place, nobody can really be 100% healed, but from a mostly healed and especially aware place, you decide to go back to that person with your boundaries intact, asking them questions, probing them, getting information on them, studying them. You can then remind yourself of why you were always divine, why you were never the problem, how they were able to get over on you, how they were even able to abuse you and make you believe the things about yourself that you believed. How you were even able to fall for the things that they were selling. Like, damn, if I am as divine and beautiful of a soul as I am, how is it that they were able to do this on me? How is it that I was able to be susceptible to believing this lie? And that is why I productively fixate on my abuser and their tactics. And that is why when it comes to Jada Epps, aka I am Winklebottom, I've taken the time, I've taken hours. I can proudly say I have spoken about this person for hours on my YouTube channel with the little bit of subscribers that I have, because it's not just about whether someone will stumble upon my YouTube channel and need to understand that this is how spiritual advisors manifest and understand how certain manipulative tactics manifest. But most importantly, I do this for myself. I do this for the me that may or may not doubt myself in the future, that may question, like, did this really happen how I imagined it? Do I really have enough significant divine support surrounding this belief? Am I justified in the conclusions that I made about this person? And no, this fixation is not something that will be months or even years long, or definitely not lifelong, because, you can only get but so much information and clarity about a person before you hit a dead end. But it is not something that I feel bad about. It is not something that I feel like is a toxic coping mechanism, because of how productive it is. It's actually deconstructing certain subconscious beliefs that I've carried about this person. It's helping me move forward. It's helping me, re-establish a sense of identity and worth, and just of self, like just of, the ability to separate myself from who I really am versus the lies that I've been told, and not just with myself, but with the universe as well. So it's not at all something that I feel bad about doing. And I know that on the surface, coming to my channel, somebody could be like, oh damn, she talks about this person a lot. But it's like, if you don't know the substance that's in the video, and if you don't know the nature of context, of course it can appear to be redundant or unnecessary. But in my recent video, which I think I'm going to re-upload alongside this video, this person literally proved my spirit guides right. So it's like, it's not redundant, because there's like productive progression within how this person is exposing themselves, how they're confirming the things that my own spirit guides, my own Madalas have told me, other readers and other people have told me. And them telling on themselves is actually a manifestation of a conjure I did for them to do so, because I knew how healing it would be for me to have the truth come from the horse's mouth. And they they tricked themselves into giving me the truth about who they are. And I will go more into detail about how they did that in my new exposing them video. But no, this is not something that I feel bad about doing, nor is it something that I think I should. When someone has done you so dirty and so fucked up, like, I feel like it's righteous, I feel like it's definitely righteous. And two wrongs don't make a right. But oftentimes in our society, people can put the connotation of negative or bad or wrong on things that are actually productive just because they don't manifest in a way that is immediately or just at all protective of someone's ego. I care more about my healing than protecting my ego. I care more about getting answers and moving forward in my ascension in my life than I care about if somebody comes to my channel, doesn't know the context, doesn't know who I'm talking about and how bad of a person they are, and just sees me talking about this person and is like, oh, well, I don't want to subscribe to her because she talks about this person a lot and I think something's wrong with her. Like, okay, like, if you want to have that objective opinion of me, that's fine. And I honestly, again, like I've said in other videos, I feel like the people who are meant to subscribe to and gravitate towards my channel, they will do that without, reservations or premature judgments. So no, this is not something I feel bad about. I will be updating the video that I posted about her originally. I'm probably just going to delete that video and upload this new video of her exposing herself. I, at one point, did want to protect my ego and stop talking about her at a certain point. But I did that conjure, and that conjure was something my Medalis actually wanted me to do, a conjure to get her to tell on herself. And I felt uncomfortable, like, consistently posting about her, but this is my journey. This is my evolution. It's no one else's. I'm not here to look good to anyone else or serve or kiss anyone else's ass. But in following those inclinations to keep studying her, to keep asking questions, keep sending her, my thoughts about how I feel about her abuse and how she treated me as a person and just who she is in general, I got a lot of healing, clarity, and information from that. And so, yeah, I have no regrets, and I don't give a fuck how I look to other people. So that's all I wanted to say for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If so, please be sure to share, comment, like if you like, and subscribe. Peace.